Everybody, this is Jill. Thank you so much for coming into my kitchen. Today I am making a lovely lentil soup, which I will be doing a video on, but I thought a tasty little cornbread muffin to go along with that would just be a perfect accompaniment. So let's get started. The first thing I want to do is make kind of a buttermilk to go in this. So this is soy milk. You of course could use almond milk or cashew milk, whichever one that you normally use. And I'm going to put a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar in here, and I'll let it sit while I'm putting other ingredients together. And by that time it's gonna be a nice buttermilk kind of texture. The milk will have soured a little bit. It works really well when you need a buttermilk. So having set that aside, I'm going to start on my dry ingredients. And what I have in here right now is some ground cornmeal, and that's going to be a really nice corn flavor. And then I'm going to add some unbleached all-purpose flour, and I will have the instructions in the description box. So if you go down below the video and click down on that show more box, you'll see the entire video recipe. Okay, so then we've got the flour and we've got the cornmeal, and I'm being very careful here because the last time I baked I made a terrible mistake, and I'll leave that recipe up above there. It was for a bread and I got in trouble. So now I'm adding some baking powder and a little bit of salt and a little bit of baking soda. And that vinegar and baking powder and baking soda is what's going to give that a nice lift without the eggs and the regular milk. So I've got that set aside. And now I'm just going to give this a nice little stir to get all of those mixed in together. Make sure I have everything. I've got the cornmeal and the flour, the baking powder, the salt, and the baking soda. We've got it. And I believe that looks nicely evenly incorporated, right? So I'm going to set that aside right now. And I will bring in a bowl for my wet ingredients. Set those aside there. All right, for the wet ingredients, I'm going to bring in that milk, which has had a few moments to see there. I don't know whether you can see that, but it's got nice little lumps in it like a buttermilk might, and I'm going to add that to my bowl. And then I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. That's going to give it a nice, delicious, sweet flavor. Get that all in there. And then I'm going to add some avocado oil. This is a light flavored oil, right? So it doesn't take over olive oil. You could use if you really wanted to. And I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of that. And I don't know about you, but I have always found cornbread or corn muffins to be on the drier side. So we're going to make sure that that takes care of that problem. And I'm looking here, I've got my milk, my vinegar, my oil, and my maple syrup. And I'm going to combine those as best I can. And that is looking pretty even. That oil and milk, of course, it's not going to be completely combined. So this is looking like about the best we're going to do with that. And now I'm going to bring in my dry ingredients. I'm going to add those. And then I'm going to add some jalapeno peppers. I've got here, they're chopped very fine. A little bit of the seeds are in there. And I'm going to add that right now. And I would say, I'd say that's 2 to 3 tablespoons. If you really wanted to amp it up, of course you could put more in there. But this will be a nice, it's going to give you that flavor, but it's not going to be an overpowering. And I'm just going to mix this until I'm sure that all of the There's a little bit of flour down there, but I want to get that. Okay, I think that's looking just like I want it. All the flour is gone. And I'm going to bring in a muffin tin now. And we're going to get these all set up. So, here's my muffin tin. And I have it lined with these wonderful, wonderful silicone muffin liners. You could use paper ones, of course, or you could actually grease the muffin tin if you like, and that would work. And I'm just going to start ladling or scooping really the mix. This is about well, I think this is about a 1/4 cup, but you want it to be just about 3/4 of the way up the muffin, you know, the muffin cup. So as I continue this and get it finished, I'll be back. Okay, we're back, and look here, I got 8 muffins, right? If you wanted to, you could, of course, double the recipe and have some extras, but this is what I got on this recipe. I have got that muffin tin complete. I'm going to be putting it in a preheated 350-degree oven. My rack will be in the center of the oven. And I'm going to give them about 15 to 18 minutes. I think at the 15-minute mark, I'll check on them, see how they look. And if they look like they might be done, I'm going to use the toothpick test. And I'm going to use a toothpick. It's going to go down in the center of the muffin. If it comes out clean, that means that muffin is done. Should it come out with a little dough on there, I would put it back in the oven for maybe a minute, 2 minutes, and then check it again. But that should be about it, 15 to 18 minutes. Once those are baked, I'll be back. Oh my gosh, don't these look amazing? Look how beautiful those are. Look at how light, how fluffy. I'm going to cut one of these open so you can see the interior. Okay, yum, huh? Look at how beautiful. Oh, it looks so, the texture, isn't that beautiful? And the little specks of jalapeno in there. Yeah, that is a beautiful, beautiful muffin. Let me turn that upside down so you can see the bottom. And you see how lovely these come out when you use those silicone muffin cups. They just, well, they do, they just slip right out. So now you know how to make a delicious corn muffin, jalapeno or not. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, why don't you think about subscribing, tell your friends about it, check out my Amazon store, and I will see you next time. Thanks again. Bye-bye.